all the participants are requested to turn on the cameras so that we can have a picture of yours. The speaker has just joined. The session will be started within few moments. Welcome, Mr. Hari, for the session. Hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
So am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, sir.
So, good morning, everyone. Please turn on your cameras once. I request all the participants to just turn on their cameras once. Okay, without any further delay, I would like to just start the session. Because I hope that many of the participants they doesn't want to waste their time out of their busy schedules and during these examinations and all. Many of the students has actually shown interest to participate in this entrepreneurship development related seminars. Okay, we are going to conduct a series of seminars in this particular week, and first of all these particular series of lectures today, Mr. Harvendranath Chari, he's the CEO of Techion Technologies, would like to enlighten us with his short lecture on entrepreneurship development and the phases, okay, the phases that are involved in this particular journey of development. I would like to just introduce him to the participants here. First of all, I'm very happy to inform you that he is a alumni of Guru Nanak Institute of Technology, and I'm very proud to introduce him. He has actually joined before this particular venture of his Techion Technologies. He has worked in different roles at different organizations like Space India Private Limited and also for Amazon India, where he has worked in different capacities. And however, coming to this Techion Technologies, he has actually involved in R&D activities on machine learning and most particularly the drones and the IoT technologies and the embedded systems and robotic devices. He works on training the students as well as teaching them related to this particular topics. And he also personally shows some interest in teaching the skills related to business as well as management. And relevant to this particular topic, why we have chosen him is because he is also one of the mentors who has delivered some sessions on entrepreneurship at Technology Business Incubator in at Usmania University. And he actively participates in these kind of seminars and will be always ready. And he has accepted our invitation within one go. Okay, only with a request he has accepted. And I'm really thankful to Mr. Harvendranath Chari for sparing his time, sparing his valuable time in order to deliver this wonderful lecture for us today. Thank you, Chari. The session is all yours. You can take the charge of this session now.
Thank you very much, sir. It's my pleasure to be here, and I'm really thankful for such a great introduction of mine. And as sir was saying that, yeah, I was alumni of GNIT, Okay, and he was one of my lecturers out there. So I was really happy, being associated with you right from the beginning as well. And I yes, as you're saying that, I really like teaching the entrepreneur skills, skills to the people out there, or maybe getting ready with the startups out there. And I just want to know, also let you know that we help out a lot of startups for funding related queries as well. We prepare their project reports if they want us to, and we do everything for free. Okay, because all we want is that we want people to grow with us, because we cannot give back, we have to give it forward. So we believe in that sense, and we always help out the people who has this spark of or innovative thoughts or innovative mindset. So we also help them out in technical domain if they have any idea. Okay, if they want to maybe convert their idea to a product, or they wanted to look forward for some innovative creativity out there, we always help them. We have been helping them out, and this is going to be one of our major portfolio in our organization as well. Now coming for the I just wanted to take a couple of more minutes to just make you introduce about myself more, so that you might be understanding what kind of domains I would be helping you out with. So we started as a robotics organization here, and we are one of the very few robotics and automation companies in India. We work with the prototyping, manufacturing. We also work with R&D, where we take up projects from central government and government of Telangana, and also government of Andhra Pradesh as well. So we are associated with multiple governments bodies out there. We are the part of a lot of entrepreneur skills development programs, and I was being mentor for multiple platforms to train the people out there. And my experience is like more than like 5,000 plus students have been training into technical domains, entrepreneur skills, skills, and startup development skills, a lot of other fields as well. So it's like always being into the technical domain, because this all I do here is I will just create a bridge between the institutions and the real-time world. I mean, I would say the industries. So I'm really happy to be here. I don't want to waste much time of it, and let me just get started by sharing the presentation out there. I've prepared it to let you know clearly, what kind of skills you have to acquire at the end of the day. I think you have to give me permission for the presentation as well, sir.
Yes, yes. I think you can share your screen. I have given the permission for everyone here.
All right. Hope you can see the screen out there.
Okay. Just a small notice to all the participants here. We are going to post the feedback link at the end of the session, and we will also identify some of the star performers during this particular session, and we will also give you some certificates as a star performer. So please spare your time and try to participate in the session, and clarify your doubts or any particular thoughts. You can share your thoughts here. Okay, thank you for your fruitful session. I hope that it will be a fruitful.
I would like to add one point to it, sir. If you have any questions or queries right at the point of explanation, you can put it in the chat box. It will take some time to talk about those questions at the end of the session.
Yes, yes.
So let me just begin with the session here. As I said, that I'm the CEO and co-founder of Techion Technologies. We have been into multiple technical domains like robotics, automation, drones, IoT, embedded systems, machine learning, artificial intelligence. So all of the advanced technology we have been dealing with. And now coming to the question that is it possible to teach entrepreneur skills, skills to anyone out there, or maybe is it really possible to make someone understand what is managerial skills? Is it really possible to make someone understand what is a startup? So is that a born skill, or can we learn those skills? So this is a very basic question we should answer first. Now, as you know that, of course, there is this involvement of DNA, okay, that has to be there in the blood as well. But the point here is that anyone can learn these skills. Okay, anyone can become an entrepreneur. Anyone can become a leader. Anyone can become they can start their own startup by learning the skills out there. Okay, we might be having vision. We might be having end goal, we might be having some sort of maybe a particular a step to go ahead. So all I want you to think now at this point of time is what exactly you want to be. Okay, maybe what exactly you want to build, if you have any product idea, or what exactly you want to be at maybe at some point of time, down the line, 5 years or 10 years. So keep that in mind, and whatever I will be explaining you right now, okay, keep attaching these notes to the thought process which you already have. What I mean to say here is, keep in your mind, okay, saying that, let's say I want to get into maybe a robotics business tomorrow. Okay, so if your thought is getting into robotics, okay, whatever the skills I'll be making you to understand right now, compare them with your requirement. Okay, you have your requirement, I'll be teaching you right now, okay, right from the beginning, you start correlating all those concepts with your thought process. So this will make there are two advantages for this one. You will be understanding the right path to go ahead. Second thing is, you will get the concepts clear when I'm talking to you, because this is the issue which we face with the regular classes. What happens in the regular classes, while somebody is teaching out there, we will be starting listening to it, but we never know anything related to the real-time scenario of it. So if you start comparing your real-time scenario with the questions or the concepts which I am trying to cover up, so you will be able to clearly understand what I'm trying to convey. And I don't use much technical terms here. I'll give you some insights about the technical terms, but I don't want to discuss much technical terms because I don't want to bore you out there. So let's get started as soon as possible here. So what exactly you will be learning for this session? So in this session, as you can see out here, that we'll be talking about entrepreneurship, of course, and we understand the convolutional way of doing entrepreneurship and advanced way of doing entrepreneurship. Okay, what are all the experiments have been happening in the society, and what kind of entrepreneurship skill is going to be helpful for you? Then do you really have to have abilities to be entrepreneur, or you can build your own abilities? Okay, so what kind of abilities you must be having when you're getting started? We also talk about the challenges, okay, problems what we might be facing, right from the beginning. And we talk about why do you have to be promoted to the society. I mean, why an entrepreneur is basically needed for the society. Okay, why can't a job seeker, or why can't a businessman, or why can't an industrialist, why only a person who just wanted to get into this domain is much needed for the society at this point of time. And I also tell you one of the basic and key role for this thing, that how do you start your own business? Okay, because this is going to be very difficult for most of the people, because they have a lot of things in their brain, and they know a lot of things out there, but they couldn't start with the actions. The reason being, they were not having, or they are not aware of the first beginning step. Okay, I'll also cover up all those concepts out here. And the most important point of this entire discussion is going to be, we fail. Of course we fail. I failed, everybody will fail. Okay, there is no one who have come down to a bigger stage or become a world leader without failing. Of course we all know that, right? Question is not that we will fail. The question is that why do we fail? Okay, why the failure will happen? Okay, we'll talk in deeper about all those concepts out here. Then we also talk about the dynamics which will be involved here. Okay, what kind of ups and downs might be happening tomorrow? Okay, and how do you have to be stable about it? Then we talk about the lean startup method. Okay, this is one of the startup techniques, okay, which people have been applying and being successful in this. We'll also talk about lean method of entrepreneurship. Then I'll give you some conclusions by giving you a couple of case studies. Okay, so we'll talk about the case studies as well. And I'm pretty sure that 1 hour is not going to be, or 1.5 hours is not going to be sufficient for this entire session. But I'll try to cover up as much as possible, and you can always be in contact with me anytime. Okay, I'll be available for your queries and questions. So let's get started with a very nice quotation out here. Okay, one of the best and one of the beautiful quotation out here. I think you probably have seen the movie 3 Idiots. Okay, when the movie was coming to the end, so the director wanted to give a beautiful line, okay, which will make the audience remember the entire story at the end of the movie. So the line goes like this. Okay, pursue excellence, not the success. Okay, if you pursue excellence, automatically follow you. So this is the problem which we have been doing in our day-to-day life. We always wanted to get successful in some or the other domain. but we never wanted to get into the excellence of that domain. What I mean to say is, for example, if you want to establish a robotics organization, which I'm taking as an example because that is my goal. Okay, I've been into that domain, so I can easily ask you to think of it. If you really want to be successful in that business, you are not going to think of where do you want to be tomorrow. You're not going to think of what you would like to be tomorrow. All you will be thinking of it, what do you actually need to know? What do you actually need to acquire? What do you actually need to understand? What do you actually need to gain knowledge into? What do you actually need to get excellence into? Basically, how do I become the excellent performer of anything? If you're a janitor, if you're a sweeper out there, you should be the excellent sweeper out there. Okay, if you're a watchman, you should be the excellent watchman out there. No, should become the way you are. Okay, you should always seek for the excellence instead of being successful, instead of thinking that I should become that, I should become this. Okay, this is my dream, or this is my way, or this is my this thing or that thing. Let's not worry about all those things. Only go with the hardworking, push yourself and try to become excellence into a domain. So that will only give you success. You don't need to rush behind it. I think there are characters out there. Okay, I don't remember the names of the characters. Okay, you might be correlating this when I'm letting you know. Next time when you watch this movie, please keep that note in yourself. Next, now coming to the definition. Okay, basic definition of what what entrepreneurship is going to be. Who's said to be entrepreneur? So this is basically what you can see the regular definitions out there. Okay, which can be a conventional way of doing the business out there. The art of starting an innovation business model to solve the problem. Basically creating a startup with limited resources offering. Now the very important crucial point of this entire definition is about limited resources. Now you might ask me that what kind of limited resources we might be having. Now I'm in a college. Okay, I have 60 people around me in my room, in my classroom. Okay, somebody might be liking my idea. Okay, they might be coming with me, they might be funding. Nothing will happen that way. In real life, you have to go alone. In real life, nothing will come down to you. Even if people are believing in you, even if people would like to come with you, even if people would like to invest into it, your thought process is not going to be matched with their thought process. See, in life, if you have a partner, okay, if you get married, in life, you might be compromising on a lot of things when you get married to somebody. But in business, you could not do that, because here compromises are basically leads you to the downgrade of your career. So you can't compromise on your thought process. You can't compromise on your thinking. You can't compromise on your goals and aims, right? So you can't simply go down with the people thought out there. So most of the times it's really, really difficult to get a partner to your company. It's really difficult to get somebody who's having the like-mindedness of what you're thinking of. So that is the reason there is this a strong word called as limited resources. Resources is not just about the human resources, maybe the availability of technology, maybe the availability of fundings, maybe the availability of people out there, man force, work ethics. There are a lot of things, but everything is limited here. So that is the reason entrepreneurship is very critical and very complicated in nature. The point what I'm trying to convey here is, it's like you have no opportunity, but you wanted to create something out of it. You have no resources, you have nothing to do with. Everything has to be start from your mind and starts to be executed to the society. So that is the reason why entrepreneurship is really difficult, and most of the people will not succeed in this thing. The reason being, you will be most likely to get failure because you never know what is going to come tomorrow. You never know whether I'm being here or I'm being somewhere else tomorrow. You never know whether you can take up a project or not. You never really know that whether you're going to be successful into or not. So if you're being completely random in your nature, okay, you never know what kind of things are going to come down tomorrow. That is what it makes the complications are going to be. So that is why the complications will come into any entrepreneurship, skill development things. Now you can see, and there is one more thing here called as offering products and services. If you divide your business into two domains, first you have to figure out whether your basic business is going to be into product development or the service development. So are you service?
Actually, are you presenting any presentation? We are not able to see it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I've been presenting.
Okay.
I
Sharad sir, we are getting.
Okay. Anyways, it was just a slide one. I guess I can show you that again.
Sharad sir,
yeah. Can you see?
we are getting presentation.
Okay. Then fine.
Now he sir stopped.
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay. Right.
All right. So I hope now you can see the screen. If you have any one of you are having any issues, please put it in the chat box. I can see out here. Maybe if you have a question as well, we'll go ahead. So yes, this is about the presentation I was talking about. Okay, I'll just go rush through the first line of the topic to the end. So this is where I've started, and I was covering up the topics out here. I have given an example of the movie, and now we are at this presentation where I was talking about the fluctuations of life and the fluctuations of business out there. So here we talk about the products and services. First, you have to figure out, you were thinking of your own product, right? Or maybe service, right? So you have to figure out that whether your business is going to be a product development business or a service development business. Are you providing the client or the customers only the products, or are you also giving the services? Or your business is the combination of both of them. So let's say, let me give you an example. If you're into maybe I would say, if you're into, let's say, a toy business, okay, if you're making a toy, that's a pure product development business. Okay, you're not going to be contacted with the customers, or you're not going to solve their problems. You're just giving them a toy and they're using this toy. And there are some smart toys available in the market. Okay, smart toys in the sense that you'll be giving a product to them and you're also giving the service to them. Okay, maybe you're having a toys connected to an internet. Okay, you might be having a service related to it. So all these things come into picture when you're into it. First, you have to figure out, take a pen and paper if you're available with that. Make a note of it clearly, that what your business is going to be. Your business is going to be a product development business or a service development business. So keep that, and this is going to be very first and crucial point. We have to figure it out. Now, the one of the most important factors here is anyone who understands. This is what I personally like the definition about being entrepreneur. So anyone who understands the opportunity and solve a problem is basically an entrepreneur. Simple. So if you understand an opportunity, okay, if you can get to know that there is an opportunity in a particular domain, and if you can solve that problem, okay, if you understand a problem, if you understand an issue, and if you're giving some solution to it, then you're an entrepreneur. It need not to be technical. It need not to be into a particular domain. It need not to be into any other domain. If you understand a problem, if you're solving my problem, then you're an entrepreneur. That's it. So this is basically what entrepreneurship is. And there is one funny and interesting definition for entrepreneurship as well. It's like you're jumping out of a cliff. Okay, you're coming down out of a cliff. You have jumped already. Now you're figuring out that what you should be doing. So this is what the entrepreneurship is going to be. So you are already on the air. You might be hitting on the ground at any point of time. Now you're figuring out the ideas out there. So that is how any entrepreneurship life is going to be. You always be on air. You never know when you are going to hit the ground. You never know whether it's going to be good for you or bad for you tomorrow. But you always never stop thinking and processing your mind to create new ideas and generations. So I think I skipped some things. Just a second. Okay, all right. We are in the right track. So yeah. So I have just given you an entrepreneurship definition and who's going to be entrepreneur. Okay, if you think that you are ready for the risk and if you're ready for the challenges, then you might be the next entrepreneur out there. And now this is what the relevance of the topic is going to be, that what kind of phases we might get into tomorrow. Okay, I just wanted to edit out my experience out here, like from where I've started and how did I started and how did I end out there. So I'll just also give you some insights about it. Now the ideation and concepts. Okay, I've started my organization. The idea have started at very beginning of my maybe in the engineering days itself. Okay, when I was in maybe 2012 or 13. Okay, I was having the same thought process that yes, I have to establish a business. I never had an idea that what kind of business I'm going to be or what kind of scope there is going to be. But all I personally was having is that I never wanted to work for somebody. I just wanted to create a job market. I just wanted to create a business out there. Okay. All that was started very early itself. Okay, before I even know a lot of things in the society. So that is the very first stage, that you have to come up with an idea. Okay, maybe if you even not having an idea, you just have to have a concept. Okay, the stage where you figure out the market needs, okay, is going to be the very first stage of your life. So that started around like 2012, 13 in my case. Okay. So it's like it's been like 8 years or 6 8 years, I would say. Then a commitment. Okay, when the commitment will happen, there will be a lot of distance between ideation and commitment. The reason being, if you want to commit to a particular idea, you have to compromise on a lot of things. So you have to compromise on your family lives more of the times, and you have to compromise on your regular days, you have to compromise on your Saturdays and Sundays. Okay, so when you commit to something, if you're ready to compromise on the on your commitment, then that's the very next phase of your life. Okay, when you will be starting your sacrificing your life, I would say. Not in the terms of a social life, I would say, sacrificing in a lot of other domains, like you start talking to people, you start being into network, you start talking to people about your ideas, you start talking to people about the ups and downs of your ideas. Okay, you will be talking about the futuristic aspects of what you are going to be. So that is going to be your commitment stage. Okay, you will not yet started, you haven't yet started, but you started bringing up the network out there, you started talking to the people out there. Then coming for the validation and scaling. So this is very crucial point, and I was talking about some of the technical terms I will be introducing. There is this technical term called as minimum viable product, okay, which is known as MVP, which is very, very interesting and important concepts of startups. I will talk about that in the coming slides. So this stage where you will be understanding the requirement and need of MVP, okay, and you start creating an MVP for your product actually. Then you will come down to the establishment. So I'll talk about the establishment in the next slides. Okay, what kind of requirements has to be there if you want to establish a company? Okay, what are all the things you needed to know? So coming for the establishment, and before getting into that, this is what the actual slide I was showing you. Okay, there are basically like 1 2 3 4 6 stages out here. Okay, so ideation, concepting, commitment, validation, scaling, and establishment. Okay, so all these stages will take time, of course. Okay, it will never happen in a single month or a single year. It might take a lot of time, because if you're making it as soon as possible, then there is chances that you will come down as soon as possible. So you have to take a lot of time for the research part. You have to understand the all prerequisites. You have to understand every problem you might be coming ahead with. So you have to have a clear thought process into it. Now you can see that I'll show you out here. Yeah. So as you can see that the very first stage, there are 3 stages we can have. One is the pre-startup stage, and the very next is the startup stage. Okay, where most of the companies will fail in this stage itself. And there is a growth stage. Once you get into the growth stage, there is no back. Okay, there is no looking back. So the point here is, at the startup stage, the pre-startup stage, you must be taking a lot of time. Okay, let me give you an example out of my personal experience. I'm not saying it. There is no statistics for this thing. There is no rules for this thing, but I'm giving you a basic idea of it. For example, if you're planning to start your company or your organization in a year, okay, if you have a year time, 1 year, then you have to take at least 6 months for your pre-startup understanding. Okay, 6 months. I'm not making you understand that you have to take 1 year. It can be a 1 month as well. Okay, if you're planning for 1 month, at least 50% of its time has to be given to the pre-startup scaling methods, where you have to come down with an ideation, and you have to understand the conceptualization of your idea. So this will take at least 50% of the remaining time. So as you're having the remaining 6 months with you, right? The remaining 6 months, out of those 6 months, 5 months has to be given to the startup era. So 5 months, in the sense, it might not take 5 months, of course. It takes a lot of other hurdles and things will come into picture, of course. But if you divide it in that way, then you will definitely have to need at least 5 months of your time to be in the startup era. Then at the 1 month, okay, this is going to be the very beginning stage, and it will continue forever. So after the 11th month of your startup, then you start getting into the growth period. So this is how you have to divide your time period. So I'll share this presentation with you. You can have a look into it. Never worry about anything. I'll even get in touch with you if you need any requirements out there. So here, as you can also see, that there is a concept of vision and mission. You can see the MVP. Okay, MVP is one of the important concepts I was talking about. We'll talk about that. And we also understand the product market fit. Okay, so it's not just about whether you're making a product or whether you're giving a service or whether you're creating a beautiful product out there. It doesn't matter until and unless you actually present it to the users, until and unless you actually give it to the users and make them understand what you're providing, it makes no sense. So always, this is the thumb rule, okay? Technological development, you have to invest 50% of your fundings. Remaining 50%, you have to invest at least 50% to your marketing and sales. So if you're not putting your efforts to marketing and sales, most of the companies do this, mistakes. So they take a lot of time for the product development. They keep their vision into only product development. They never know how to sell it. They couldn't even come out of it and sell it, because when somebody, maybe your opponent or maybe your competitor, understand that there is a possibility of growth in this particular era, they'll create and they'll sell it to the user. So this happens to a lot of people. This happens to a lot of companies out there. So you must be very good in understanding the concept of marketing and sales as well. So once you're okay, once you understand both the domains and you understand the human resources, okay, if you're ready with everything, then that is the beginning of your growth stage. So till then, you will obviously be having ups and downs in your business model. So this is what I was talking earlier, and this is a clear picture about what I am talking about. Now coming for the abilities, okay, are you really going to be an entrepreneur? Are you qualified to be an entrepreneur? Okay, so what kind of skills you should be having? Now you can see on the screen that we must and we should have an ability skill out here, okay, which is of managerial skills. So why do we have to have managerial skills? So it's not just about managing people, it's about managing your stress as well, managing yourself as well, okay? If you couldn't manage yourself, if you couldn't manage your own body, if you couldn't manage your own brain, own thought process, you can't do anything in life. So first and foremost thing is that you must be having mental stability. You must be having physical stability, because physical stability is obviously correlated to your mental stability. If you're not physically fit, if you're not mentally fit, if you're not really having that aura of attraction, then you will never be an entrepreneur. So you must start working on your body first, okay? This I keep on suggesting everyone out there, okay? Stop eating random junk food. Stop eating all the food which we on a regular basis have, okay? Stop doing all these things. Get started with having a nice meal every single time, okay? Because that will automatically eventually give a strength to your body. Automatically your mind will also be getting into the line. So that's a very beginning and very important skill set you should be having. Now coming for the next thing, that you always have to have a positive approach towards failure, because this is the reason for most of the people to get into depression or anxiety or any kind of heart diseases, okay? The reason being, we always tend to not accept the failures. So we have to accept failures, because see, if you're getting into a very new domain, you never know anything is going to happen anytime. So you will tentatively going to be failure at every single point in your life. So you never know that what is going to come down tomorrow. So you never worry about being failure. And you have to have that ability of being failure. That is the reason I have given such a big picture out there, okay, showing you that failure is going to be very, very, I would say not important, very, very common aspect of your life. It's going to be very common aspect of your life. Now coming for the technical skills, okay? Technical is not just in terms of the coding, or if you're working on a particular software, it's not just about coding. It's not just about understanding it. It's about the overview of what your product is going to be. I mean to say that, what if you have created a product, you have reached to the people out there. Now you're at the stage of selling your product. You understand that there is a bug in your product, or there is a problem in your product. You never know that whether that kind of problem was existing in the very beginning stage. So until and unless you're technically good, until and unless you're strong in technical domain, you could actually not make any sort of decisions to modulate or do some sort of inputs or change some sort of technical aspects of a domain or a product or a service. You couldn't figure out what can be done. So you must be very strong. Though you don't want to be a technical person, you don't want to be a CTO of an organization. If you want to be even a CEO of the organization, you must understand the technicalities of it. You must understand what is the outcome of your product is going to be. You must understand how the product is behaving at the back end. So this is very, very important. You must have a technical skills out there. Also with the technical skills, you must have the marketing skills. I was talking about marketing, right? So you cannot simply go ahead with only technical skills. You must also possess the marketing skills. You know how to sell it. I'll give you an example of Steve Jobs. I think you already know about this example a lot of times. So do we really needed Apple iPhone? Does anybody need Apple iPhone today at this point of time? So we are not I'm not a cameraman. Okay, I don't need a camera out there. Okay, I'm not even into a big scale video editing domain. I'm not earning my money with video editing skills out there. But why do I need a processor of that huge? Okay, I don't need a processor of maybe a 10,000 gigahertz out there, because I don't use it. Okay, for myself, I play a game. Okay, if I'm playing a game, I probably need a maybe 1,000 gigahertz, 1,000 hertz frequency, sorry, the 1,000 megahertz frequency processor. So now we have started embedding a processor of a bigger scale computers into a mobile phone, and you're purchasing it for lakhs of rupees out there, which is not needed basically, but still we are doing it. Why do we do it? Because they have created an environment out there asking you to purchase a product which is not needed for you. So there are so many products. Let me tell you, there are so many products which you actually don't need to use it. You don't need to know about that products at all. You don't basically need those products. You don't even use those products in your day-to-day life, but still we use that product. Why? The reason being, they have created such kind of environment. Now, let me give you an example. Coca-Cola, how many of you know about Coca-Cola? We always know about Coca-Cola, right? So point number one, it's neither good for health. Point number two, it's not good for taste as well. So if you have a taste of a juice, which is more feasible and more good for your health than a Coca-Cola, but they have created an environment, okay, saying that giving Coca-Cola to your relatives, if they are coming down, is going to be a gesture of love. Okay, so आजकल तो ये बोलते हैं ना, normally if you go to somebody's house or somebody comes to your house, अरे वो तो thumbs up भी नहीं दिया था. They will not say that वो तो juice भी नहीं दिया था. They will eventually tend to say that वो तो thumbs up भी नहीं दिया था. So this is a very, very common concept what people have been what the commercial aspects have been getting into our brain. So this is how the commercials goes out there, advertisements goes out there right from the beginning, like 90s or 80s. Okay, you have been looking at the advertisements, right? So they show this poor house, all these things as there. They try to correlate our life existence, okay, our lifestyle, and they embed their product into our lifestyle. So that is what the strategy of Apple iPhone is also. Any Apple product, basically. You don't need to have an Apple phone, of course, but you will purchase it because it creates a status symbol. It shows that you're somebody different from what other people are going to be. And we always want to be different from others. So that is what even Byju's is doing today. So have you heard of Byju's, White Hat Junior, and have you heard of their scams out there? Okay, they are asking you to enroll for a class of 6-year kid. So they are giving a certificate of product developer for 6-year kid, or a software developer for a 6-year kid. And who knows that a 6-year kid we all know that a 6-year kid will not be able to program anything out there. And they are giving a complete open source resources, and they're taking a couple of hours and they're training the students, and they're earning in crores of rupees. And now you can see Byju's is going to be the partner for Indian cricket team as well. Now you can see the Byju's logo on the Indian cricket team, jersey. So now understand that there is a way you can create a marketing. There are two things. You can either get into the existing market, or you create your own market. So there are a lot of websites are available for free. There are a lot of videos available for free on YouTube. Why people are still getting into these commercials, or why people are getting into the big companies and they're paying lakhs of rupees out there for a 6-year kid to learn coding? That will never happen. That's fake stuff, obviously. So there is two ways you can do business. One, I'm not here to let you know what is ethical, what is not ethical. I'm here to let you know what are all the options available out there. So there are always two ways. Now you understand the requirement of the market, get your product into the market. If your market doesn't need your product, then create your own market. That is what I'm trying to convey. Creating your own market is the art of business. Excuse me. This all will come into picture when you understand and analyze the marketing skills out there. Okay, So let's get into the model. Okay, when I was talking about this particular slide, okay, there is a slide called as growth. Okay, so I'm talking about this place. Okay, this slide at this point of time. Okay, this is how you will make your business static. Making your business static is very, very important and very, very crucial. Let's say if you have a product or a service, it could be anything. So what is a very, very basic step and very beginner step? Okay, how do you start? This is what I was conveying in the very beginning as well, right? You have an idea, you wanted to get started with. So where do you start? The very first step you have to get started with is prototyping your idea. What I mean by saying prototyping is that let's say you wanted to create a maybe a robot. Okay, you can't create a robot at this point of time, right? Because we do not have resources out there. Okay, I do not have a machinery to create a robot, but always you can create a robot in a simulation. Okay, you have a computer, we all have a computer. You have software like maybe a development software, a CAD, or maybe a simulation software out there. Okay, you can create always your product in a virtual environment. So if you are able to create a virtual environment product, if you are able to prototype your product, okay, there are so many prototyping equipments available out there. Okay, one of the equipments you can see out there, I think you can see or not, I'm not aware of it. There is one equipment called as 3D printers. Okay, 3D printers are going to be very, 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 very crucial if you just want to get into product development. Learn 3D printing skills. How much a 3D printer will cost? Not more than 15,000 rupees, or maybe 12,000. Even we are getting it for 10,000 rupees today. Okay, you purchase a 3D printer, you start designing, you start understanding your product architecture. Okay, you start designing a product and start printing it out of the 3D printers. Okay, you will get a product, okay, which is a physical product, which will be there in hand with you. Okay, talk about that product. Don't sell your product. Okay, talk about that product. That will come into the next picture, which is about sales and marketing. Okay, so go to the people, say about your product, talk about your product, make them understand what you're going to offer, and take the feedbacks from their side. Okay, they might be giving you feedback that, okay, this size is not going to be feasible, you must be having a larger scale, or they might be saying this size is not feasible, you must be having a minimal scale. Okay, so make that product, create that product, talk to the people out there. You don't even need to develop it fully. Okay, you have to develop it a partial way. You have to reach out to the people out there. You talk about more about sales and marketing strategies out there. You can even reach out to your targeting audience. Let's say if you're if you're developing maybe anything which is related to new house. Okay, let's say I'm developing a automatic home automation system. Okay, so if there is a home automation system which I wanted to develop, whom should I reach? I should reach the people who are freshly starting their venture, right? Freshly starting their house, right? So how do I reach them? So this is a very crucial point. I know that my target audience are going to be those people who are just starting with their construction of their house. Okay, I know that these are my targeting people, but how do you target them? How do you go to them? You can do it in very, very, multiple ways, I would say. Now, the very first thing is you can go to the banks first. Okay, ask bank that can you please give me the list of the people, okay, who started taking the house loans from your side. Okay, if you acquire the house loans list, probably you will get it. Okay, so if you understand that who's going to take the house loans, you have got a lot of people out there. Okay, you just go and talk to them saying that look, you are taking like 10 lakhs of rupees to build your house, right? I'll offer you one thing. Okay, I'll automate every single equipment in your house, and you have to pay me 50,000 rupees. Why would anybody will reject it? Why would anybody will reject it? So they will accept it because you're giving it in such a larger, such a smaller scale, because they're already into a larger demand. Okay, they're already into a bigger scale. So if you can even clearly understand, you can even make them understand emotionally as well, because that's an emotional aspect for everybody out there in India. Having a home is emotion, right? Having their own home is an emotion. So this is what you have to understand in marketing and sales aspect. You have to talk to people out there who's actually in the need, okay, who's actually looking for people like you. Okay, then let them know that you're offering it for way lesser than what people are going to do tomorrow. You don't need to have a product to do all these things, right? You don't need to do, actually you need to develop everything to do this thing. You can develop right after this step. You can say that, okay, I'll come back maybe after 6 months. Okay, we'll talk about this thing. Then you can start your research out there. So this is all about UI and UX. Maybe if you're not aware of what is UI and UX, this is one of the technical terms in the business field. So UI is user interface, UX is user experience. So you need to have the basic understanding of UI and UX of your product. Then you start going with the R&D. You don't need to just acquire money, acquire funding. Okay, you can't go directly to your parents and you can't directly go to bank and ask for the fundings. You don't need to do that. You have to talk to the people out there. You have to create your network. You have to join in the WhatsApp groups out there. Okay, you have to get into meetups. So there is a place called as meetup.org. I think org or .com. I'm not sure about it. So that website is going to provide a lot of different kinds of people's group and people's networking. So they conduct meetups out there. You can talk to them. You can go and meet them. So every Sunday you do it this way productively at this point of stage. Then obviously it takes at least 1 year to develop a proper network. So this is practical aspect. I'm not telling you anything which is theoretically existing. I'm all telling you is that what you can do right from the beginning. Now you can stop this session and you can start doing the things which I'm talking about. So that is what the aim of my session is going to be. I would not want you to understand anything theoretically. I want you to compare your thought process, compare your idea, compare your goal, and understand and what I'm trying to convey. You have to match up accordingly. So this is what I want you to do currently. Now the very important aspect is that what if you got your funding or you got everything what you wanted to get, you're ready to do everything. So how do you get succeeded? What are all the means of having success? So there are 6 C's of success in the business world. The very first thing is you must be having courage. If you do not have courage, you might probably end up failing. Though you have done everything good, okay, till the time you have started your organization, but if you couldn't show your courage, then you're lost. Then conviction. Okay, you must have a strong conviction skill about your product, because obviously people will come into picture and say that this is not going to work out. Lot of people will say that in every single aspect. Don't you think that even you take up an example of Jeff Bezos, you take up an example of Elon Musk, you take up an example of maybe anyone out there. Don't you think that nobody have told him that this is not going to work out? Imagine if you just go to a person, say if a person is selling books over email. If I'm sending an email to a person, if he's bringing a book to me, then would you seriously take him that idea as an innovative idea? No, because I don't believe that it is going to be a bigger picture. I don't believe that it is going to be a successful. If I send an email, somebody is giving me a book for rental, is not going to be a bigger picture at this point of time. But that is what he believed in. Jeff Bezos believed in it. And he funded his entire energy into it, entire time into it, entire economy into it. Okay, he started funding everything into it, and he succeeded at the very beginning itself. So he started selling books, actually, if you're not aware of it. He started selling basic goods. Not selling, I would say. It's like it's renting. He used to rent his books out there for the people who just mail him. He just go to those locations. I used to give them. And he used to collect the payments out there at the end of the day. This is what he used to do. And this thought would have been funny for a lot of people at that point of time. It was funny. Yes, of course, it was funny for a lot of people at that point of time. But he believed in himself. That is what the conviction is going to be. So anybody would think of anything, but you must be thinking, you must be having that courage, thinking that it's going to work out. Then you should be having capabilities. I was talking about earlier. I was talking about capability. I don't want to take much time to it. And you must also have the collaborations out there. You cannot do anything on your own until and unless you have collaborations of the people. You cannot do it because we are, at the end of the day, we are a single person. Okay, you have only single mind. You can't do multitasking out there. Okay, you have to have a proper people collaboration out there. Okay, you have to take every person along with your direction. Then the capital. Capital is not just in terms of economy. Capital is in terms of the time and your energy as well. So you must have capital to put into your idea. So you slowly start giving more time to your idea. You slowly start giving more energy to your idea. That's how you fund a capital. Then you also have the consciousness of it. What I mean to say by consciousness is, by pure heart, you must be taking it into your consideration. You're not just going to take it like one of the options. And I always keep on saying this to everybody out there. I regularly say this to every student out there, that never go with option B. So Yes, of course, having option B is going to be risk free, but if you're having option B, you'll not be able to make it out here. I'll give you an example. In World War II and in Germany, so people, I mean, troops used to have this, what I say that they never used to have any kind of idea of the other troops actually. The reason being, why the one troop is not aware of the other troop, or one battalion is not having the idea of other battalion, though they are having a lot of skill set to not reveal it to other people, is once you get into the hands of the enemy, they'll put you in torture. Okay, they'll squeeze your body, and they will obviously make you understand and let them know that the ideation of the next troop is, the idea of the war is going to be. That is the reason they would never tell anything to the soldiers out there. Because if they captured you, and if they started you, at the end of the day, you will obviously get really. So why I'm saying this in at this point of consciousness is, if you're actually aware of the alternatives, okay, if you're actually aware of the other things than this one, then you will never get succeeded, because you will be tortured, you will be mentally tortured, you will be physically drained, you will be capitally tortured, you will be, I would say that, economically tortured in every aspect. So if you get tortured, then obviously you'll go with the second option, obviously, out there. So torture, I don't think torture is the right word, but it's looking catchy, but that is what I wanted to convey out here. So you will get struggles. So if you have option B, then obviously nobody will stick to entrepreneurship. So you take up anyone. Those who are not having any other options are only the successful people out there. Those who are having options, let's say I am okay to go abroad, okay, I just want to do my MS, okay, I am willing to do my MTech out there after BTech. Meanwhile, I'll just try to start my company. So if you say meanwhile, or if you say while I'm trying to do something, I just want to test into it, please don't do that. It's not going to work out. Of course, it's not going to work out. Because it's not something that it will come automatically from air. It has to come from, from your, right from the beginning, you have to have that concentration. So this is about the 6 C's of any successful business. You must have the consciousness, which is vital and crucial point of your business is going to be. Then coming for the motivation. Okay, what kind of things you need to have for motivation? You might be ending up demotivated at every stage of your life. So how do you get motivated at every stage of your? First thing, that you must change. Okay, you must change your path, because you can't prepare because this is not something moving from a point A to point B, right? Let's say you are at the point A and you want to go to point B. You have prepared a path. Okay, you have created a path. You have started moving into that direction. You will obviously get errors out there. You will obviously get obstacles out there. You have to change the path. So never ever fear for the change. So all you have to remember is that your path is from A to B. That's it. You'd never need to know that whether you're going in this location or that location or that location. It doesn't make any point to think of the change. So you always have to be ready for the change. So that is very important for getting motivated. Also, you must have the challenge out there. If you're not having challenge, you will not get motivated. So if your task is very small, okay, if you're able to do something, let me give you an example. There is this example I'll give you. There is this experiment done by National Geography Channel. Okay, they took like 5 strangers out there. Okay, 5 people out there. They wanted them to sit in a room. There is a room. Okay, that's an empty room. Nothing is there inside that room. But they have created a small short circuit switch out there. Okay, so they wanted them to sit in a room for maybe 2 hours or 3 hours. Okay, so they sent him. The people sent a particular person into the room. The person sat out there. Okay, he started getting bored. Okay, he started getting bored. He just wanted to do this thing or that thing. He doesn't have anything out there to do in the empty room. So he saw that switch out there. Okay, when he clicked on that switch and he started getting short circuited. Okay, because of that shock circuit, then he started feeling a kind of jump or a jerk in his mood. Okay, he started getting that spark in his brain. You never want to get a short circuit, right? Obviously. But eventually what happened is every person whom they sent inside started touching that every often. So maybe a couple of minutes every often they started touching that short circuit. So what I mean to say here is, your brain doesn't want to be ideal. You don't want to be ideal. Your brain doesn't want to be, your body doesn't want to be ideal. Even if it hurts you, even if it brings pain to you, you obviously want to do that. This happens in a lot of relationships as well. So if you're being calm in relationship, or if you're not just relationship, it could be anything. Maybe your business also. If you're earning in a very static aspect, you don't like it. If your relationship is going in a very static aspect, you don't like it. So that's the reason people would obviously get this issues with one another. There is no reason, there is no meaning, there is no particular understanding, but still we wanted to fight with each other. The reason being, you don't want to be ideal. By default, your brain doesn't want you to be ideal. Either getting pain into it is going to be pleasant for it, but you don't want to be ideal. So that is the reason you always have to have challenge in your life. So you have to have a particular goal in your life. If you're not having those challenges, you will become a static body. So if you become static, you never want to work on anything. Then coming to the creativity. Creativity, actually, most of the people would argue on this aspect that creativity is not something that it will come with the training. Okay, it has to be there in the blood. Of course, it's not, but creativity can be learned. Okay, you have to have the creativity. What I mean by creativity here is that not thinking in a conventional aspect. Okay, if somebody is giving me a pen and pencil and asks me to draw a particular image, okay, not thinking in a conventional aspect and drawing that particular image in the same regular way that everybody else is going to draw. So if I'm drawing it in a different way, then I am creative out there. So you must possess creativity. If you're not having creativity, you feel demotivated every single time. So you must have the control over the environments, okay? And if you can't control the environments around you, you will still get the demotivated because people will control you. So if anybody started controlling you, obviously you lose motivation. Okay, and that is the reason most of the people would not want to work for any other companies. They want to start their own startups. The reason being, they don't want to get controlled by somebody else. Okay, they don't want to be they don't want to be ruled by somebody else. Okay, they want to create their own life aspect. So you must have the control over your own environment. And you must be curious. Yes, of course, you must be curious. If you see something out there which you haven't seen, you must sit for it. Okay, you must understand it. You must take time to learn it. So that kind of zeal has to be there within. And you must have the cash as well, okay, to get motivated. If you're not getting money, you will never get motivated. If you're not earning properly, you will never get motivated. Okay, though you have all the other aspects of all these 5 aspects, but if you're not getting cash, you will never get motivated. Why I'm teaching you motivation here? The reason being, when you get into the people's life out there, okay, where you collaborate, right? You talk to the network, you talk about your ideas, you start pitching your idea to people out there. They should be motivated with your idea. So what do you offer them? You will be offering them these 6 points out there, okay? These 6 points are going to be attractive, and people out there will definitely come into your path. If you're not giving them challenge, if you're not giving them change, if you're not giving them creative ideas, if you're not asking them to get their own control, okay, if you're not making them curious about your idea, if you're not providing them cash, of course, they will not come with you. So if you want to have collaborations, keep these 6 things in your mind. That is going to be very useful for you. And let's get back to the work here, okay? Mode of motivation. I have been motivating you for that purpose. Now let's get to the real business, okay? Now, how do you start getting money for your business? Or I would say, how do you get capital funding or a seed funding for your business? Basically, there are 2 models which we can follow. One is the traditional business model, okay? Another is a lean startup model. I was talking about lean startup, right? MVP, okay? Minimum viable product. So the minimum viable product will come into the lean startup model. There is a traditional model out there, okay? What do you do in traditional model? Basically, you have an idea. You create a project report, okay? Or write up a proper report out there, okay? Or you also develop a product, okay? Also, why I'm saying, because if you can fund on your own, you can develop. Also, you can develop your product and you start reaching out to the investors out there. You'll talk to the people out there. You talk to the VCs out there. VCs is venture capitalists, okay? Those who are going to fund your ideas. You talk and you explain them what you're thinking of, okay? How your product is going to be useful for the society. Okay, you keep on pitching your ideas to them. One or the other person might be interested in your idea. Maybe they're willing to fund. This is how any basic business startup will go. So this is a traditional model. Now coming for the lean startup model, which was experimented in the year 1980, actually, by one of the US based organizations. Actually, this is the practical and tested and very good method of being an entrepreneur. The very first step is that you validate your idea first. Okay, you have an idea, you first validate your idea, you understand what are all the important factors you are putting into your idea. Then you are not going to any investors directly. You're creating your product, okay, which is a prototyping actually, with a minimum viable product. That means that you create a product which is having a minimum requisites of your what I say, features. Okay, what I mean to say is, let's say you want to create a mobile phone. Okay, you don't need to create a mobile phone directly. Okay, all you have to do is you have to create an external body. Okay, you have to create maybe a sounds related to it, or maybe a small scale understanding of that particular thing. You don't need funding for that, right? So you can have a 3D printer, you can develop your case out there. Okay, and you are taking that product and talking to the people out there. You're not going to the investors, you're talking to the people. Once you understand that your product is really going to be useful, then you will go to the next step. Next step will come into the funding process, which is again the development and launching process. Most of the companies who wanted to fund for the companies out there, or fund for the startups out there, they take up only lean startups. What I mean to say is lean startup is that those people who have already done their market research, who already have their market results, who already created their MVP, those people will get more fundings. I mean, those people will only get fundings today, nowadays. Okay, if somebody is coming to me saying that I have a thinking process, I have a thought process, I have a complete report on it, okay, I have generated a report, please look into it, if you like it, please fund into my company, nobody will fund you. Nobody will definitely fund you. So how do you make them understand is that you will start doing the reports out there, okay, by talking to the people. You have to go to the market, you have to talk to your clients, you have to talk to your target audience, okay, and show them your product, okay, which you have created in a prototyping way. Prototyping is lot of easy method of doing things. Let's say you are creating an electronic equipment, okay, you just prototype it through some softwares out there for free. There is a software called as Easy EDA, which can give you a PCB out there. Okay, if you want to prototype a product or maybe a device, you have a prototyping softwares out there called as Fusion 360, or maybe there is software maybe into Tinkercad. Okay, there are so many softwares available out there for free, where you can prototype and where you can show the people out there about your thought process. So those who already do this thing will get the funding actually from the people out there, maybe the investor or maybe VCs or maybe anyone, capitalist or anyone. So they will fund only the people who do their market research properly. So this is the second way of doing your research. Now we are at the end of the slide, okay, and I'll be ending up this thing by letting you know a couple of case studies. Okay, one case study is into the journey into space. Okay, there is a company who started reaching to the Mars out there. Okay, most probably you know about it. Yes, that is Elon Musk's company. Okay, how Elon Musk started their journey. Okay, what are all the phases? Because I don't want just make you understand what is the phases which will come into an entrepreneur's life. I also want you to understand some of the examples out there. And I just want to give one more examples of my own organization. Okay, how we have become one of the top 10 companies in the country within a period of 8 months of establishment, 8 to 9 months of establishment. Okay, what made us to reach to that level? Okay, because it's very unique and very I think new thing for the market to become number one in entire India, one of the top companies in now top 10 companies in entire India within a period of 8 to 9 months. Okay, and that took a lot of time in the back end. Okay, I'll talk about that in my experiences as well. So I'll just take up some questions quickly. If any questions are there, I'll take up some questions quickly. Then I'll go back to the case studies out there. Meanwhile, I'll stop my screen out here. We'll talk about the questions. I hope there are some questions out there. If you have any questions, you can put it right now. Okay, I'll still take up the questions.
Yes, participants, if you have any questions, you can just ask.
There is a chat box out there in the right extreme corner. You can see, you can clearly see that, and you can put up your questions if you have. All right. So I don't see any questions out there. See, questions are not. I don't mean to say that the questions are going to be about the presentation which I'm telling you. Okay, it can be about your idea as well. So let's say if you have an idea of creating an environment out there or creating a particular business model out there, you can put up the question. Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll analyze whether it is feasible for the market. Okay, or you do not have an idea and you want to know about some domains. Okay, or you are interested in particular domain, and if you want to understand how you will be getting started with, you can still put up those questions in the chat box. Okay, anyways, I can see there are no questions. There are only two things. If there are no questions, either you're not at all understanding me, okay, I'm not at all able to make you understand what the concept is, or you understood completely. Okay, so I've got a question out there from Navjot Singh saying that, sir, does your degree or qualification play an important role in the startup? Very nice question. That's a nice question, and I'm very much interested in this question actually. Let me tell you.
Now, can you just turn on your camera? So let us please introduce yourself.
I just want to see the reaction as well. If you possibly can do it, please.
Navjot, can you please turn
Hope
on your
Navjot is here. All right. All right,
Okay.
Navjot is here. Okay. So the point here is that, does your degree or qualification is going to be playing important role? Let me tell you, I have published I have helped publish more than 10 papers out there in international journals. I have trained people into PhD levels, those who are actually working on innovative products out there into MATLAB, and some people are into electronics, embedded systems, some of them into electronic vehicles, all these domains. Okay, I closely work with the people out there who have more qualifications or double than the qualifications than what I am having. Okay, but I'm just a BTech grad. Okay, I haven't even completed my MTech. I haven't even started doing my masters out there. Okay, and most of the people question me that, okay, which university from you are, sir? I mean, that's a question which come into picture when I'm talking to a lot of people out there. They think that I'm a PhD. I've got a PhD scholar from some organization. No, I never, and I hope I would never do that as well. Okay, I will not do my masters. I will not get into any degrees out there. So it never matter at all. Even if you're not yet with your degree, if you haven't yet completed with your engineering, it's still okay. You can start right now. It makes no sense that you should be having a particular degree to get started with. No, there is no such requirement out there. There are so many people. You take up any people. You know the Oyo revolution, right? He was 21 years old age when he was started with Oyo. Okay, there are so many people who haven't even completed their engineering out there. There are degrees out there. Okay, there is no such qualifications needed for entrepreneur to be an entrepreneur. All right. Any more questions out there? Let me see if anything, then I'll take up the questions. Okay. How can we differentiate product-based idea from service-based? Good question. Okay. The question here is, how do you differentiate a product and service-based idea? Product-based idea is something which you're giving them a physical aspect. I mean, what I'm trying to say here is that if you're giving them a product, if you're giving your client a product, okay, which is a physical product, okay, that comes under this product-based development. It need not to be physical product. It can be a software product. It can be anything, but you're actually giving something to them. Okay, that is product-based. If you're giving them services in the sense they have come down for your help, okay, then you resolve their problems. Okay, it can be a development stage. It can be anything. You will be simply giving them ideas or inputs to solve a problem. So there is no product involved here. Okay, you haven't given a pen drive or which is having a software. You haven't sent a mail which is having a code. You haven't given a product which is of your developed product. You haven't given anything. This comes under the product development, and helping them out or solving their problems is going to be the service development. So this is a basic analogy out there. So yes, I can see out here that some of questions are popping up. I can see that. Could you explain with an example? Yeah, explain. Yeah, I hope I can take an example for this one. Yeah. I've got a requirement from one of the UK-based companies. Okay, in the very beginning, they wanted to send some images to us. Okay, what they wanted me to do in the images is that we have to develop an algorithm to detect trees in that images, because that's a drone captured images. Okay, they sent me thousands of images out there. They want a system, or they want a software to capture where the image to filter out the images which is having trees. That's a simple algorithm. Okay, you can do it simple. If there is tree, then you will putting it in one folder. If there is no tree, you are putting it in other folder. There are thousands of images. You can randomly loop it over a algorithm. You will be able to differentiate it. Now this particular product, okay, which I have developed, or which we have developed, is going to be a product developed product, or which is a product or a software. This is a basic question which comes to your mind, right? So let me see how many of you say that this is a service or this is a product. Okay, just I'm looking at the chat board. I think you understand what I'm trying to say is, right? One company gave us a requirement of filtering images. We developed a product, we developed a software which can automatically differentiate maybe a image which is having trees and which is not having trees. So you let me know that whether this is a service or a product. Whatever we have developed, it's a service or a product. Please let me know. Service based, good. Service, good. I hope there are so many people out there. I can see that there are around 40 people are there, and I can't see more answers out there. I hope the session is not interesting to most of the people. Service based, okay. Most of you are saying it's service based, good. All right. Service, all right. So most of you think that it's service based requirement, right? Yes, it is service based until and unless I give that software to them. It's going to be service based. If I'm providing that software to that organization, okay, that comes under product development. Now I have to charge accordingly, right? So if they have sent me an image, okay, and I am filtering it out, and I am now I'll give you economical background about this particular thing also. So if they have sent me an image, okay, and if they want me to filter it out and show them 2 folders separately, let's say I will charge 1 rupee per an image. Okay, let's say it's just a random number I pick up. So I charge 1 rupee per an image. Okay. I have developed in a software. This software can do a lot of other things, such a things. Okay, that can be filtering out a lot of other things. Maybe a image with a capture of a car or not, a table or not, a chair or not. I can do a lot of ways. Okay, because I already have a software with me. All I can do is a small modifications with which I will be able to acquire it. But I cannot send that entire software to a company out there, right? Why would I not do that? I will not be selling that software. The reason being, if I sell that software, they would not need me anymore, right? So I want them to be, I want me to be their service provider, not the product developer. If I'm developing a product, then the charges are going to be huge in the sense that I should also understand the futuristic aspect of the product as well, right? In future, what my software is going to be, in future, whether it is going to be earning lakhs or it's going to be earning in crores. So I have to understand each and every aspect. Then only I'll be marking it and I'll be selling it. Okay, I am not selling my software to them, so it's not my product development thing. I'm selling them my service because they sent me an image, I have filtered it and I've sent back. That's it. So here I have provided the service, I haven't provided the product. So you must have this clarity while you are working on anything. All right, we can see this example in CAPTCHA. Exactly, CAPTCHA, yes. So we have I am not a robot CAPTCHA out there, right? So you can automate it. You can that will show you something like, you know, recognize cars in an image, right? There will be 6 or 7 cars. You will be clicking on the all other cars and you will be entering. Then automatically it will allow you inside the website. So this is recognition of a CAPTCHA. So obviously you can actually automate that with your software itself. You can integrate that software to your website. Automatically, you don't need to click on the cars out there. It will automatically understand wherever the car is available, and it will automatically click on it. That indirectly says that I am not a robot, but I have created a robot to do that. So you are saying I'm not a robot, but you're doing a robotic action. All right. Yeah, let's get back to I'll wind up it up in 12:30. Okay, we have 10 more minutes to go. Let's get back to the session. Here I would like to go with some couple of case studies out there. All right, so you can see that we most of us are aware of Elon Musk, right? He's number 2 in current time. Okay, he's number 2 in entire world. In economical aspect, I'm talking about. So where did he start? Okay, he started in 1990. Okay, when he came down to Canada from South Africa. Then he started building his small software called as Zip2. So what Zip2 will do is, Zip2 is that, because it's 1996, understand the timeline as well, because it's like a new era has started out there, okay, for internet. People are mad about internet at that point of time. So he started giving directions to the people before Google Maps. Okay, so it's like a local it's like, I would say, it's like Just Dial. Okay, it's like a local service location software. So if you enter that toy shops near me, okay, in that location, it will give you multiple toy shops, and there is a map out there. Okay, it's not a map which you can use the way you are using it today. It's a static map where you will get the red dots out there, and you can select one of the dots in the next scene so that you will be able to get into it. I'll just show you the screen. I think it's more relevant to us today, what I'm talking about. Zip2, right? So it used to be like this. Okay, you can enter the business name, or you can enter the search of the particular city. So you'll be able to understand that where you have the requirements out there. Okay, you can search in the city, you can search inside the map as well. Okay, you can search near the road. So this was developed by Elon Musk alone. Okay, he was the person. It's like a Yellow Pages web page. Okay, this is how it used to have. I think you still have it in this website. Okay, you can visit the website as well. So you can find the business out there. This is a very new and innovative idea at that point of time, and when there was a huge scope of internet booming out there. So he actually created that, and he spent around $28,000, okay, with loan, and he ran it for only 4 years, not even 4 years, 3 years, from 1996 to 1999. Okay, within the 3 years, imagine that it has become $22 million company. $22 million company within the 3 years. He sold it for $22 million. Imagine that. That's the worth of a small innovation. And it now, if the people at this point of time can develop that in a week, okay, if you properly understand technology, if you can code properly, then you'll be able to develop in a week. The week development took like 22 millions of profits. So he sold it in the year 1999, and he started PayPal. I think you are aware of PayPal Mafia out there. Okay, PayPal Mafia is one of the I would say combination of people out there. Okay, who are the innovators and inventors out there. I'll even show you what is PayPal Mafia, who are all come under PayPal. So now you can see these people are from PayPal. Okay, if you're unaware of it, you might feel you might get wondered with it. Now you can see these are all the innovators who used to work with PayPal. So these are the people who started PayPal. PayPal is, for those who do not know what is PayPal, it's just like Paytm today. Okay, we are using Paytm, right? Right at that point of time, they used to do it in the mail transactions. If I sent a mail to a particular location, you can come down and collect the money out there. Okay, with the single mail, because I give an assurance that I will send to them. So I have paid to the local authority. So those who worked for PayPal have come out of PayPal, and 3 of them has funded for YouTube. They started YouTube, and one of the person started LinkedIn. and one guy started Tesla after coming out of PayPal. Okay, then one person started Squares. Okay, if you're not aware of the companies and all, you can just go through it, and every company is of billions of dollars worth of. Okay, all these people have worked together. Okay, that's the power of collaboration. Everybody out there have worked together. Now you can see these are all the people out there who started their own organizations. They funded their own organization, and everybody succeeded out there. So YouTube, you can see the LinkedIn founder is also from the PayPal itself. Okay, this team is called as PayPal Mafia. So with this example, I hope that you understand the importance of collaborations, because collaborating with the right people is going to be very useful and very crucial. They have started PayPal in 1999 for $10 million, and they have sold it for $165 million in the year 2002, which is again only a period of 2 years. So within a period of 2 years, they have become $165 million company. So imagine how big it is. Then they have started Tesla, okay, SpaceX at the year 2002. SpaceX is about one of the private organizations for space technology and astronomy. Okay, because since I'm very much interested in space science and astronomy, I have been working with it. I have one of the members of it, and that's the reason I'm more interested in space science and all. So here, SpaceX started with a whopping $100 million business. And it's still SpaceX is still being continued with Elon Musk. Okay, so they have started it in the 2002, and now recently, 1 week ago, they have sent the first person to the International Space Station. So everybody used to think that it's not a cup of tea for any private organizations to build a space station, but Elon Musk proved it's wrong. So he said that, yes, I'm a single person today, but I will be definitely building an entire space station on my own. So that is what he was committed to, and he built, and he proved he's right. Now NASA is directly tied up with SpaceX, and there was the 10 billion, I think 1 billion, $1.5 billion deal was there between Tesla and SpaceX and NASA earlier. So then he started Tesla Motors. Tesla Motors started with a $50 million investment. Okay, it's still going on out there. Then he started the Solar City, which is of creating the solar panels out there. Then he started OpenAI, which is there is one more thing called as Hyperloop. Okay, where there is a transport systems out there. There is a Boring company out there. There is a Neuralink out there. There are so many companies he started between 2015 and 2020. Okay, and every company out there has become a multi-billion dollar company. Now his worth of number two in the entire world. Okay, is the top second billionaire in the entire world. So that's the actual entrepreneurship, how you can understand from the life of Elon Musk. Now there's a funny meme out there. Okay, you can see out here. Okay, the meme says that my future goal is to become so successful that my hairline restores itself. This was 10 years ago, and this is Elon Musk now today. So he looks like he has transformed from other direction. Okay, this particular robot you can see out here, it's a robot which implants chip into your brain, which is a Neuralink. Okay, Neuralink is a company he established, okay, which is going to implant a chip into the brains such that it will be able to understand the activity of the brains, and it can restore some of the memories which he claims to be. Okay, so these are all the motivations from Elon Musk. You can understand, okay, how the life can get started and how you can grow off. And there are so many falls in his life. Okay, you can go through about him, and there are so many books available to let you know about it. One of the books is Elon Musk itself. Okay, you can read those books if you want to. And now coming for the second case study, which of Tekion Technologies. Okay, why I just wanted to give this case study is that this is going to be more relevant to you than any other case study. So the question here is that how do you start? Okay, how do you basically start without investing into it? So let's say you do not have money, you do not want to invest your money, but you're ready to invest your time and energy into it. Will you be successful? Is there any such case? Yes, there are such cases, and one of the cases is mine. Okay, I would say. So what you need to know about not investing anything and being successful, that is what I'll be letting you know here in this slide. Now, the very first thing is that learn all the prerequisites. What I mean to say this, if see, my domain is going to robotics and automation organization. So if I want to be into that, though I don't want to be a technical developer out there, I want to be a maybe a managerial role out there, but still I need to know about prerequisites, right? I should be understanding all the knowledge has to be there to me. So that's the reason I started learning robotics out there. I started coding out there. Okay, I haven't get into coding earlier in my life when I was in engineering. When I came out, I understand that this is my particular goal. So I started learning coding on my own, okay, from the help of YouTube and other places out there. Then I slowly getting into understanding the real-time requirements of the scenario. Then that is the very first step you should be acquiring. You should know all the prerequisites of what you want it to be. Then you will start investing more time and energy, because you can't invest money. Okay, you don't want to invest anything into it in an economical aspect. So you have to invest more time and more energy into it. While I was working with an organization earlier, I started building my own company out there. So it's like a multitasking thing. You have to compromise a lot of things. You have to compromise your sleep. I used to sleep for 2, 3, 4 hours a day, maybe for entire 2 to 3 months of period. So you might have to sacrifice a lot of things because you don't want to invest into it. Let's say if you want to invest into it, if you have money to investment, if you don't want to deviate from it, then there is no problem doing it. But if you don't want to invest it, you will have to take up a lot of issues out there. So that is investing more energy and time into it. Then there is one more thing called as experimenting with your lean method. Okay, I was talking about lean startup method earlier, right? So once you're okay with putting your energy and time into it, you start working on lean methods out there. Then you will constantly improvise your ideas. You will constantly modify your ideas. Then you will create your strategies and you will create your market scale out there. So these are all the 4 steps you need to understand if you don't want to invest into it. I'll give you my personal experience out here. How did I start? We started going to government schools out there, NGOs out there. We started providing services for free into robotics. Okay, we gave them a lot of classes for free, and we have been doing since that day. Okay, we have still been continuing our service into the school education. Then we took some snaps out there. We started building our website. Building a website is free. Taking a snaps is free because we all have mobile phones. Putting it in the websites is free. Emailing people out there is free. So we started reaching out to the private schools as well. So when we went into private schools, organizations and all, they found it's very unique. Okay, putting out this robotics and automation kind of thing into the students' regular day-to-day life is very unique for the schools out there. They wanted to test it out in their schools. So a lot of people, a lot of schools have started contacting us. Then we started charging to them. Okay, we took time and we started training them. Okay, a lot of schools got involved into our domain, and we started getting recognition, a lot of recognition from a lot of newspapers, cutouts, government bodies. So government started dealing with us. Okay, they wanted to have a lot of requirements fulfilled with them. Then we started getting into the colleges. Okay, because we don't want to stop at the school location itself. Okay, so schools was we made this a static body. Okay, we recruited people to get into the schools. The school bodies keep on going regularly. Okay, we have started going on the same way. Then meanwhile we started getting into the colleges as well. Okay, so we started giving the seminars, conducting guest lectures, maybe going with a lot of innovative project developments. We started working on entrepreneurship skills development. So we started getting into contact with a lot of colleges out there. Multiple colleges across the country are in getting contact with us, and we were developing a skill set for the people out there. Okay, we were involved in a lot of domains for the entrepreneurship developments, startup developments, skill set training, communication training, interview skills, technical training, and workshops as well. Okay, we have been into multiple things, and we associated with multiple colleges out there. So once we started working with the colleges, we started getting multiple government projects. Now you can see this is a project which we have developed for Telangana government. Okay, this was a presentation given to a police commissionerate. So this is about the traffic regularizations out there. Okay, what kind of regulations has to be implemented into it. Okay, what we are missing out there. Okay, how we can automate the chalanas. I'll tell you in 1 minute about this particular project because I have included the image out here. So this particular project is basically that we usually provide the challan, right? If you capture a photo, then you will be getting the challan to your mobile or whatever the way the government will take up. What if there are 100 people going in a wrong direction? How do you capture them? What if there are not even 100 people? What if there are 10 people crossing a road at a time? Do you able to capture it? Because there is one policeman out there standing, he could not do it. So this particular project is going to help them out to do it. Okay, it's, you can cross, you can, maybe 10 people can cross out, to 50 people can cross out. This system is not going to miss out even a single person out there. Okay, it will be definitely giving a fine for everyone, and it's a complete automated one. There is no need to be physical assistance has to be there. There is no need of somebody standing out there. So it's a complete automated requirement. So then later we have started getting into the industrial robotics. Okay, this particular robot you can see out here is developed for the Indian Army. This one, yeah. So we have developed a couple of projects for Indian Army as well. Okay, I am currently working with Indian Army out there. Okay, we are into multiple sectors. Okay, we are into defense, we are into Navy as well. So we are actually going in a path we were aiming to go in, but I haven't started directly getting into the projects out there. Okay, we haven't worked directly with the projects. The reason being, we do not want to get involved in a economical rush out. I mean, we don't want to get into fundings. Okay, I don't want to establish a company worth of 1 crore rupees by investing it from the loans. Okay, I don't want to do that. I want to acquire skills because I was not aware of in the very beginning. Okay, when I was in the very beginning, I don't even know how to program. I don't even know how to put up a small maybe a electronic gadget out there. So this particular journey has given me I would say that experience, or the journey has given me a lot of ups and downs. So I haven't shared you about what kind of downs has happened to me. Every stage there are issues. Every stage there are downfalls. Every stage there are problems with the people out there. Okay, problems with the society out there. Problems with my own life set out there. Okay, there are problems definitely. So every time when we down, then we have jumped out again in the same way. One of my partners, Shraddha, she was also used to work with me in the Amazon Private Limited. Okay, so we tied up and we started doing schools projects. Till now we are continuing with the projects related to Indian Army, okay, Indian Navy as well. So this is being a journey here. Okay, it will not end up until and unless we get into the only robotics organization in entire India to produce the requirements into automation and robotics. So this is what we are aiming for, and let's hope we will be going in the direction which we are aiming for. So now if you have any requirements out there, if you have any questions out there, okay, if you could not ask it at this particular seminar, if you want to reach out to us, you can always mail us. We'll be active in mails. You can even reach out to us in the contact given here. Okay, you can see the contact, you can note it down if you want to. If you have any questions or queries, you can visit our website as well out there, which is techiantechnologies.com. If you want to experiment something, if you have a good idea to pitch, if you have an idea, or if you want to experiment into anything, if you want to have validation from experts, okay, you can always reach out to me. Even technical supports, because we are into technical domain as well, so you can always reach out to us. I hope I have explained what I actually wanted to explain. Let me just go through once more if I missed out anything. Let me. All right, so yeah, let me take a couple of questions, a couple of more questions. Sir, I have a doubt. Elon Musk is saying artificial intelligence can damage us in the future. So you are working under robotics. Is there any reason? See, basically, he doesn't mean that it's going to damage our life. He means that it's going to damage our what I would say that I can't take up a right word for that. It would damage our lifestyle. Okay, better. That would a way of understanding. He doesn't mean that it's going to damage the life. It's going to damage the lifestyle, because we are habituated to be a social animals today. Okay, we talk to people out there. Maybe AI will make us to be associated with the machines out there. Okay, we might become more socially inactive. Okay, that is what he meant to say. Now, coming for my opinion on it, I would never think so, because when computers were coming down, people used to think the same. When computers were there in the early beginning, they started thinking that we all are going to lose the jobs. Okay, we will never get any jobs. Okay, we're not going to be anymore. We have to be jobless. Okay, people started repelling the computers. Okay, they started objecting the involvement of the computers, and most of the countries, they, after the involvement of computers, they even have not installed the single computer in their countries for decades. So there are such a environments out there. Now you know that, right? What computers are doing today, it's going to help us for making a lot of things easier. I don't need to sit here to calculate what is 2 into 2, what is 5 into 8, what is 150, square root of 150. Okay, I don't need to know what is a complex multiplication. I don't need to know what is going to be algebra, what is going to be trigonometry. I don't need to worry about all those concepts at this point of time. I can directly give it to a computer. It will give it to me. So I cannot waste my time on the things which I don't want to really put my efforts into. So that is what computers is doing. Similarly, AI is also going to help you with the same thing. So you will be transferring some of your works to AI, which will be helping you to do it. And of course, people will always fear about the change. Even we are fear about the change. That's the reason most of the people would not be able to come out of an organization. So when I was working with Amazon, you may be aware of Amazon, which is said to be one of the world's most customer-centric company. Okay, they would provide you such a facilities that nobody would like to come out of Amazon. Okay, still you have to have courage to come out. Okay, you have to have zeal to put yourself into risk. So until and unless you have that kind of mindset, you would not be able to do it. Similarly, AI would also be the same thing. You might be transferring a lot of works to AI, but some things which you have to do will remain the same. All right, so I can see that there are no more questions available. I hope we can end up the session. I'm
Yes, sir.
10 more minutes out there.
Sir,
Yes, please.
sir, how MBA qualification is helpful to set up a business?
Good. MBA into?
To start a business, how MBA qualification is helpful for us?
Okay, so you wanted to start a business, and what if I get into
But
MBA? Is it going to
being
be,
an undergraduate student from BTech, I don't have those skills, managerial skills on those regarding finance and regarding the products manager. All those skills I don't have, right? So being
One
an
thing I would say,
undergraduate student, how can I start a startup? So
I
is it
understand,
necessary
Pawan. I
to
understand.
start?
Yes. So I'll tell you one thing. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. Yes, of course, having an MBA degree is going to be helpful when you're doing it from the prestigious colleges or the real stuff. If somebody is teaching you the real stuff, you can join in that college and never do it for the certificate purpose. Because the same MBA can be taught in a small college as well. Okay, those who would not even provide you a certificate, but they'll give you a real-time work out there. And until unless you work physically, until unless you go and meet the people, let's say you're working for a marketing MBA, okay, you can start your MBA right from today itself. Okay, you don't need to go wait for a couple of more years after you're coming out of the college. You don't need to do that stuff. You can start doing your MBA right now. You can go out, talk to the people. If you're into marketing, if you're into HR, you go out and talk to the people about their jobs. Okay, what they're thinking about their jobs. Okay, how they want to get their jobs done. Understand, getting into these kind of webinars where people are going to make you understand what kind of communication skills you should be having. So all they will teach you in MBA is the same. Okay, what they will do here is that they will teach you in a systematic manner with a period of 2 years of course. So there is no wrong time to do right thing. Okay, there is no wrong time, of course. You can start it right from the beginning itself. You can start doing your MBA. So if you want to do the MBA for the certificate purpose, that's a different MBA I'm talking about. Okay, I would not want to talk about that.
Could you suggest any book to know
Yes.
about that?
Exactly. So what I'm trying to say here is that having an MBA degree is obviously is going to be useful. Okay, for the business development, it's going to be very helpful to do a lot of things on behalf of the organizations, I would say. It's very good to do that, but if you don't afford those number of hours or the number of years of study, or if you could not do it on your own, if you feel that it's going to be difficult, it's not, I would say it's not, there is a technical term in mathematics, I don't remember it. It's not impulsive. It's not compulsive. I don't know. I think Mr. Sharath Chandra sir has to say that to me. What's that term, sir? It's not compulsive. It should be. I don't remember the term actually. So it's not compulsory to have a degree to start your business, but of course it will help you out.
Okay, thank you. So, sir, being a successful entrepreneur, and so what
No,
are
I would
the
not consider
suggestions?
myself a successful entrepreneur yet.
In my point of view, you are one of the successful persons from our college. So,
So
what are the I
I
have a
can't
doubt
relate.
regarding strategies to be followed to start a new startup, sir,
Yes.
with your experience?
Yeah, with my experience. So Mr. Pavan, so what I'm trying to convey here is it's not going to be a single day thing. Okay, we
Yes,
can't
sir.
learn everything in a single hour. It's been like 1.5 hour I'm talking to you. It will never happen in a single hour, and I can't even tell you entire structure about what it is going to be like it. Okay, it's more of experience, I would say, not experience. I don't mean saying experience is that you have to start working on it so you will get, it's not about that. You have to touch the fire to feel the fire. That's what I mean to say. So experiment it, create something. Okay, go to the people, talk to them, make them understand what you're trying to sell them. Then you will be able to actually get something done. All right.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Are there any questions still? Yes, thank you. Thank you for your all patient listening, and definitely Harvendranathachari, this presentation was quite engaging. I could see as you were referring, but I'm not good at those particular lines, quotation lines that what you are talking about, really. But I could pick up a point that what you have actually presented. For the last question that Pavan Kalyan has asked, what is the main thing that okay, he in this presentation Hari has actually presented some abilities that what you need to have whenever you are starting your successful business. He was saying about the abilities that the persistence. Okay, I like that point actually. uh, the persistence that you require, okay, that is the positive approach that you require whenever you are facing a failure. Okay, the positive approach. Okay, that means a lot for all the young engineers like you, those who would like to start their own ventures. Okay, and he was also talking about the 6 C's for successful business, and one of that particular C that I have liked the most is this conviction. Okay, that means the belief, the self belief. Okay, more or less uh, this persistence helps us in believing in ourselves. Okay, and this also helps for definitely this will be a great addition for a successful business. And the case studies that what Hari has presented, what he has talked about Elon Musk, and how actually you need to start a business with a zero investment. This was really engaging. Actually, this creates a lot of interest for all these young budding engineers who would like to start their own businesses. And he was also talking about some online platforms which helps you to engage or to connect with more people like you. Something like Meetup, the Meetup platform. Okay, please, students, please try to make a note of it and try to uh, have some advantage out of this particular social platforms, which bring some common people together with their ideologies. Okay, thank you, Harvendranathachari. Thank you, really. You have just accepted my request to present this and have spared your valuable time. I really thank you, and your presentation was quite par excellence. Actually, it was it has blown my mind actually. Okay, it's the
Thank
slides.
you very much for having me, sir.
Yes, the slides that it has shown the experience actually, what you have gained all through these years. So it really helped this presentation. I can see that. I can see that actually. And any participant, any other participants, if you would like to share any kind of feedback, you can just make it happen here, right here. And if that's all, if there is nothing else to talk, then we can wind up this session right now. Thank you, everyone, those who has actually made this session quite fruitful, and hope this might be useful for you in your entrepreneurship journey. And all the best for every participant. And we will come up with more lectures in the coming weeks. Okay, I'll try to bring up some more innovative entrepreneurs and share their ideas here, who would motivate you still further to see your ideas onto the ground. Okay, that means it happens in the future. Okay, thank you. And if you would like to share something, you are welcome, or else we shall end this session right here. Okay, there was a feedback link. Okay, please try to post your feedback by clicking on the link. Your feedback is very important to us to get the things right and get the things better. Okay, thank you all for participation. Harvendranath, once again, a very big thank you to you. Okay, and
Thank you very much.
definitely try to meet you in some another space where I could really congratulate you physically. Okay, thank you. And I'll also share this feedback with you. Okay, all the students' feedback. And thank you, Hari.
All right, sir. Bye bye. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Thank you. Students, that's all for today's session. You can leave. Thank you.